だから僕は僕なりのやり方で戦い抜くよ。父さん、じいちゃん。
So I kid you not even like 20 minutes ago, Gundam Age FX's trailer was just released, and this is Maxi Boost On's first unit trailer. And I have to say, my very first impressions on this trailer was the actual music, and I believe the OST that was played is the Kick, which is the music that's normally played during the regular Maxi trailers. But anyways, the reason why this kind of caught my attention is because it sounds so bad. It sounds kind of poverty. It sounds like they looped it so bad, just like the equivalent of my ability to loop songs. It's like me throwing the song file into this program I use to edit songs and just export it and just slap it on full boost to pretend like I'm playing Maxi Boost. Oh my god, my version of the Kick sounds so bad, you probably don't want it. It has like the most ass quality possible. But anyways, let's actually talk about the gold of this video, which is indeed Gundam Age FX, piloted by Kyo, which I don't think many of you that watched Age didn't really like that much, according to many reviews. So one of the very first things I want to mention about Gundam Age FX is that he is pretty edgy when he is in Age FX burst mode. I mean, I really am a fan of his combos because they look pretty cool to use, but I'm not so sure if this will be very viable in online play if you really just want to finish off the complete string without, you know, sidestepping out of it, because it seems very cuttable, honestly, and it's kind of risky to use that. But I'm not really gonna judge the suit so hard because after all, it's only PV and you can't really judge it until you actually see, you know, legitimate footage from players. And I hope the footage that we get in the future is actually good and the player is pretty familiar with the suit, or at least familiar with the game's fundamentals, you know, so we can actually see how well the suit can perform. As far as the FX's abilities go, he has 7 main gun shots, and his main gun can cancel off into sub-weapon, which I really do like, honestly. It's rather fluid in the animation motion that shows in the trailer. His sub-weapon really reminds me of FAUC's shield funnels in the way they sort of spread out rather quickly and then pummel the enemy down. And I believe these funnels are called C funnels. He also has a counter in which when you strike him, he obviously moves back and counterattacks with C funnels that just quickly jab his ass away. And he also has this special melee variant in which you perform a certain input and then it finishes off in this really stylish C funnel attack, which is really cool, honestly. The input will most likely be the same as if you were using Burger Gyros in full boost and you wanted to do that mini stun attack. Gundam Age FX also has 2 different support types. The first one is, I believe, don't quote me on this because I haven't watched Age fully yet, but I believe it's the H2 Darkhound, which looks hella cool. And he has this ability, I believe, which is the side variant of the assist, that allows you to escape rather quickly, similar to the Harut BC getaway that I don't really see many people use online, but they really should when they go into MA mode. It makes escaping a lot easier, honestly. The other variant for the Darkhound assist is basically where he comes out to stand there, whirl his weapon around, and block an incoming projectile attack. I at first kind of thought this assist was kind of useless, but then when I really think about how most situations in online battles go, it would be really useful if you are actually incredibly just hauling ass and you're boost dashing like crazy, and you know, people often make mistakes online, right? And you're depleted in boost, you land and you can just send out the assist to cover your landing, regenerate your boost, and just get out of there. So it can be very great in those situations. The next assist is, I believe it's called the H1 Glanza, piloted by Flitz, and it also has 2 variants just like the Darkhound. And the first type is where he will literally rush down the enemy, stun them a single time, pull out his gun, and then shoot them down. What I really like about this ability is that it's a good way to stall time and allow you to go towards the opposite guy, while they're literally getting their time wasted by this assist that stuns them and then shoots them down, which will probably take about 3 or 4 seconds, which is very good when you really are trying to push the enemy towards the corner of the map, and if you kind of time it right, it can be very favorable towards you winning the match. The other version for this assist involves Flit being sent out to shoot a Jirobi, which also has these cool little mini beam nukes that follows the Jirobi itself. But the thing about the nukes is that since it's like beam, it won't really cause that much effect compared to an explosion type of attack, and the AoE of it is just so small, and it really does remind me of the 2.5 from the Victory series piloted by Katagina in full boost, or I think that's what her name is anyways, that crazy blonde chick. But anyways, her AC shoots this long ass Jirobi, it has reasonably good tracking, and has these nukes that follows the Jirobi itself. But this time around, it's not as hazardous as the 2.5, obviously, which is a pretty good thing because I really hate how annoying the nukes are for the 2.5. Now let's talk about the FX burst mode that will probably make all the H fans have a complete nerdgasm over, because I'm not gonna lie, it looks hella edgy, especially the way the blue on the Age FX after he uses it becomes so it looks like it's like crystallized or something. It looks like it's like plasma. It just looks so cool because of the game's new engine that kind of enhances the color aspect of the animations. It looks really awesome. But here comes the part that I myself will personally hate, but this is speculation, and I fucking hate speculation, I really do, but this is kind of a reasonable speculation judging from the trailer itself. And I believe the way he actually gains FX burst mode is if either his HP is yellow count, so it'll probably be like the Haru type of deal or the Banshee and NTD type of deal, or he gains it by activating his burst and that gives him the FX burst mode. So it can either be one of the two ways for this little guy here. But anyways, overall, I do think this suit can be fun, but like I said before, you can't really judge a suit completely by the PV. You always have to see the footage of the suit being used by a player that's actually competent of the game's fundamentals. I mean, if you see like a footage of the game by a player that doesn't know how to even do anything, you may get a good idea of how it, pairs off against other enemies. But if it's used by a good player, you'll know if this, or what kind of tier this guy kind of, puts himself into. But anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I haven't made an EXVS video in such a long time. I am definitely getting back into the EXVS vibe. Don't worry, I have lots of things planned, especially with the tutorials I plan on releasing in the future. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.
舞い落ちる